Let's run up a milli.
Point of view to black issues. His mission, to provide a forum for honest discussions about social issues without the liberal lapdogs shutting down the discussion. Broadcasting from the American Truth Project Studios in beautiful Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. This is Conservative Nation with your host, Jermain Botsio.
Hello. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Conservative Nation with me, your gracious host, Jermain Botsio. How's everybody doing on this beautiful Tuesday evening here? And let me tell you something. It's absolutely beautiful. Brother, how you doing?
Hey, don't blame us. Don't blame me. I voted for Trump.
Absolutely.
That's all I got to say with this debacle of this week. Don't blame me. I voted for Trump.
Absolutely. You voted for Trump, so did I. Brother, are you seeing anything on Facebook here? I want to make sure.
I got it saying it's starting, but nothing.
Nothing. Hold on. You know, Facebook has changed their setup here, and for some reason, yeah. See, it keeps saying setup. Let me go ahead and.
I want to make sure.
Let me go ahead and try to.
That's YouTube.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get rid of this. For some reason, it's saying starting, but it's not going. Let me see if I can. And it's sending it through too. This is so dumb. It is too. So dumb. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can. I think I got it here. Let's see if we can get it here done. Because okay, let's see now. Tell me if it's on. If not, I'm gonna just start a new stream here for Facebook.
Let me see. Let me go out.
Just let me. If not, we're gonna start a new stream. Just get rid of this one, and we'll just hit live. For some reason, they got some. Yeah, it's not. They got some issue going on here. Let me go ahead and get rid of this here.
Yeah, it's just saying plans to go live.
Yeah, it keeps saying that, which is dumb. Let me go ahead and here we go. Let me bring this off here. Yeah, we're gonna just go live right now from here. Alrighty. And let me see here. Make sure I got all this set up as well. All right. So I think we should be good here. Here's another one, and it's all live here. Should be cross-posted as well. Man, I'm telling you. What? All right. Now I'm just waiting for it to pick up. And go live. Here we go. All right. So we are live, it says now. Hopefully you see it, Jamal.
It'll come.
All right. So it looked like on my end, we got some folks here.
Okay.
Yep. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Facebook. Hello. Absolutely. All right. So we're good. We are
all right.
good.
Just took place. Gotcha. Let's roll.
All right, Jamal, my goodness, great. What a rough start, man. I'm telling you, being black. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, how you guys doing? Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. I need your help. All right, a little bit of technical difficulty starting off here. I'm in the frozen tundra, but it's not frozen right now. It's hot. It's hotter than your mama's kitchen. So hit that like button. Make sure you share. Jamal's here. I'm here. Hopefully you got your rest. Hopefully you're ready to fly. Because I know Jamal is ready.
Man.
All right. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I ain't going to waste no time. We're going to get right into it. Make sure you share. Don't treat me like a side chick. Don't treat us like your baby mama. Don't treat us like the dog you picked up last week and then you dropped off at the pound because you didn't want to feed it. Don't you do it.
Don't treat us like your ex-husbands.
Absolutely. The one that you spit inside of that apple pie that tastes so good. Don't you do it. First one up here, brother, I want to go ahead and speak about a viral video. The video is wow. It's about a group of black Americans who handle a problem they have with a person in a very peculiar way inside of a gas station. I want to go ahead and run it when it come back. I want to get your take on it. I want to know what you think. You know, with so many of these videos popping out, I mean, gosh darn it, somebody got to talk about them. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. Here we go.
Beat his ass. Beat his motherfucking ass. Shit. Shit. Get up out of here. ASAP. Damn! Right, come on, bro. Damn! Huh? Hell no! Shit!
Jamal. First one up, viral. It looked like a bunch of hyenas broke inside of a store there, and they found a victim. You know, we see a lot of these type of videos posted online. Oh my God. And usually, Jamal, 90% of the time, it's Black Americans. It's what we call the liberal blacks, the tribe of Shabazz Black Americans. What do you think about this here, sir? Why do we keep getting this type of behavior? You would think in 2021, you know, people would be more enlightened by now. What do you think? I know.
You know, I get so sick and tired of people making excuses for black folk. I get sick and tired of it. People, every time you turn around, people keep wanting to throw that slavery crap, Jim Crow, segregation. Listen, if black folk weren't ready to have freedoms, then they should have never freed us. Hold on. I take that back. The ones that weren't ready.
Yep, the ones that weren't ready.
Because what you get to see right here, these are the people that's telling you Black Lives Matter.
Yep.
These are the people that's telling you the black family that the new what they're being
nuclear family being
destroyed. Let me tell you something right now. This has nothing to do with the nuclear family. This has to do with ignorance and a lack of personal responsibility in the black community. It's time that people stop. You know what? You have many other races in this nation.
Yep.
People who came over here is from single parent homes because their dad died in war. They don't turn out like this. It's always one particular group.
It is.
And it's come to a point now where say, you know what? If this had been some white, I mean, look that he's stomping him. The man is not. It's over.
They could have killed him easily. He's on the floor. They're beating his head in. Jamal. They could all be accomplices in murder. Imagine if this guy died.
Yeah.
And you know, people die like this all the time. It's something that is not being talked about in the media. And I always go and ask these questions, Jamal. How come we don't see Chun-Li and them doing this? You know Chun-Li and them, right?
Because they got more common sense not to do nothing this stupid.
Absolutely.
They got more common sense not to do nothing this stupid.
Kwame and them ain't doing this, Jamal. Apu and them ain't doing this. You get what I'm saying? Shoot, Jose and them. Yeah, well, Jose and them ain't doing this. So it all boils down to, ladies and gentlemen, it boils down to a cultural issue that's in the black community, and it's a violent culture.
Yes.
You understand? Yeah, you can't get around this. And it's my humble estimation, a lot of this violent culture is being passed down by the mama a lot of the time.
Generation to generation. Mm-hmm.
And it's because she's, hit with what I call undue burden, okay? The burden of raising children, right? When my wife is at work, when I have my child alone with me, right? He's a beautiful, beautiful baby. I love him. I can understand if I was left alone for years with him, but to raise him by myself. I can understand the frustration, Jamal. I can understand the angst and the hurt in a sense. And all this boils up in a lot of these single black women. And they push this aggression that they have that was put on towards them, towards their children. And a lot of the time, the children grow up and push that aggression towards the world. Mr. Jamal, last words on this here, sir.
This is absolute failure for the black community. I'm sorry. You know what, Jermain? It comes a time when people have to look at the black community and say, you guys are failed. This is a failed experiment.
Mm-hmm.
We need the police, y'all. Some of y'all need to report back to the to the cotton field. Some of y'all. Because this don't make no sense, Jermain. Beating this man like this all of a sudden, it's ridiculous. It's beyond pathetic. And these so-called black leaders make excuses for this behavior. They need to be locked up. All of them.
And this is the main reason why we have so many shootings in the black community.
That's why black folks fear concealed carry, because they know they get shot.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. All right. You're not going to get this type of commentary anywhere else. They don't want to touch it. You know why? Because most of the time when you speak like this, the band man starts looking for you. Let me tell you, he's looking like this. Where they at? That's what he's doing.
They need to be locked up.
So hit that like button. Make sure you share. Jamal, next one up here, brother. I want to go ahead and speak about a Minnesota peace organization.
Okay.
Right? We have a chain of supermarkets here in Minnesota called Cub Foods. It's a very popular chain of supermarkets. In the inner city, Cub Foods is a big, how can I say, playground for criminals. They like to steal. They love Cub Foods. They like to run in there and steal because it's easy to shoplift there. They had, the regular, contracted security guards, the ones that dress up in the paramilitary outfits. They got the taser. Some of them may have a gun. They had too much bad press with those type of folks. So what they decided to do to try to curb the stealing going on in their stores is to hire what they call a community organizing group called Minnesota. Yeah. Minnesota Peace
So this is
Group.
one of them social service.
There you go.
Workers we've been hearing about, huh?
There you go. And
Okay.
what they're supposed to do is supposed to be a non-threatening force, be there to talk and deter. All right? You heard what I'm saying. Talk and deter people from stealing. Okay? And what happened was that somebody was caught stealing, and apparently one of these peace officers wasn't so peaceful. I want to go ahead and run this when I come back. I want to get your take on it, Jamal. I mean, my goodness gracious, you move away from, regular security officers to a peace officer, right? I mean, I'm thinking that would probably help. Maybe. Let's take a look.
You're not bro. Gonna play with me? Gonna play with me, nigga? Gonna play with me, nigga?
Hey, bro. That's not community peace right there, bro.
I don't give no fuck, nigga. He should have put his hands on me, nigga.
Don't put no fuck
Get
on
the
me.
fuck on, nigga.
Fuck you.
Get your bitch ass on, nigga. Go. Go, nigga. Get the fuck out of
Fuck
here.
you.
Go,
Go,
nigga.
Bitch ass
Go.
motherfucker.
Go.
That's not how we achieve peace, bro.
He shouldn't have put his hands on me.
You're right.
Go.
Wait, sure, fucking put me
Go.
like that, dude.
Go.
I am fucking dumbass.
Go, nigga.
Fuck you.
My mama, get your ass out of here, nigga. Baby. Go, nigga. Bro, I'ma toss your ass back on the street again. Go.
Man, he fixing his stuff to go, man.
Go. I don't give no fuck, bro. You shouldn't be up here. Go. Oh, my mama. He talking about saying, I peace supposed to get the fuck out of here. Go, bro.
I am. Shut the fuck up, man.
On my
Shit
mama.
out of you again, nigga, if you don't go.
Wait, I'll come back and kill your fucking ass. Fuck.
No, I got that on camera. That's a
Yeah.
threat on his life.
He fucking throwing me too.
Go.
Fuck that.
No, he threatened you with an ass whooping, not with hurting your life.
Wow. So Jamal, we got, hold on, Jamal, we got Kool-Aid. We got Big Kool-Aid right there. You know, back in the hood, we call him Big Red, right? Big Red right there. You know, he was serving up an ass whooping. Now, Big Red seemed to be a peace officer. He had the peace shirt on there. The person filming said that ain't very peaceful. What do you think about this? Big Red Kool-Aid, as we call him in the hood, right? He's calling and beating this Asian man. He's calling him a nigga. You heard him. He said on his mama. You heard him, right? Ladies and gentlemen, you see how it is, right? On my mama. On my mama, Jamal, what do you think? On my mama.
Wow, I thought that I would never live to see an Asian bum. You know that's something you thought you would never see.
Oh Lord, Jamal, you
in
about to kill me tonight. You about to
an
kill me
Asian
tonight.
bum. You know America is
You know
messed
America's
up when you
down
got
is
Asian
down
bums.
at 2 when you see that. When you see Chun Li's daddy trying to get some shit.
When you got Asian bums,
Oh my
you
goodness.
got problems in America. There goes the peace officers. I guess them the type of peace officers they gonna have in the community. they talking about.
Yeah, you know, I think that's the one what they were talking about. Defund the police and bring these niggas in, right?
That just got me as the Asian bum. I ain't never thought that they would see Asian bums. Usually when Asians come to America, they got to fight. They got to fight to get into good colleges and get into stuff. Joe Biden and wokeism have gotten Asians.
I'm telling you.
Asian bums. Joe Biden and wokeism that got Asian bums. But you know what? This is, all jokes aside, this is going too far. The man's in a corner, okay? He taking him and throwing him out. That's a little too far. If I'm watching this and it's more of a bully than someone
who's sitting there to serve and protect. Yeah.
Then this dude, he trying to act all thuggish and hard in front of the camera, beating up a homeless man. He can't even stand up too much, like he breathing heavy. But you don't do that. If you gonna serve and you gonna prevent people from stealing, if you gonna keep people from stealing, and you're a peace officer, then you need to be mindful. Once you take him, you throw him on the ground and hold them till the police get there. That is totally out of control.
Yeah.
It's funny because I ain't never seen no Asian bums,
I know you.
but that is wrong.
And the thing is, Jamal, there's a lot of Asian bums here in Minneapolis.
What?
And, yeah, and the thing is, Jamal, it's because of the culture. See, the Hmong and the Laos folks,
Okay.
they came here as refugees a while back, and what happened was, while they were here, a lot of them were picked on, right? They went through the whole thing where they go into the community and they end up getting picked on and shunned and stuff. You know how the Italians, when they first came, Somalians went through it, Africans went, every ethnicity that is new that comes into America and they go into the inner city, they all go through this. So they went through that type of struggle. A lot of the Asians that came, the Laos and the Hmong folks that came, a lot of them joined up in gangs to protect their neighborhood.
Yeah.
All right. So that's where you got a lot of the broken families. A lot of the broken families came from, this type of generation, the first immigrants and stuff of that nature. And a lot of that is changing now. But the older Hmong folks, you will see them, they have that issue. And it's because a lot of them, when they came here, they were picked on by the blacks and the Latinos. And they banded up to protect their neighborhood, to protect their mom and pop stores. You get what I'm saying? And
Gotcha.
From there, that's when you get, a lot of that nonsense. So I want folks to understand a lot of the reasons why, the community is like that. But in a sense, they also followed a lot of the black culture. And that's not being told as well. If you speak to a lot of Hmongs and Laos folks, they love black music. If you closed your eyes like this, you would think they're black.
Are you serious? No, I've never heard of the Laos. I've heard of Japanese, Vietnamese,
Chinese. Japanese, Vietnamese. We don't have too much of those, but we have a big Laos and Hmong community, and they come from that region over there. So I just want to go ahead and tell folks that. Last words on this here, sir, before we move on.
All jokes aside, laughing and kidding, that just went too far. When that man is up in a corner with his hands over his head, you won. So, and as a peace officer, you were supposed to be able to handle yourself better. The man wasn't trying to kill you. The man wasn't trying to hurt you. When that man balled up in a corner, that was it. Stay right here till the police get here. That was totally crazy. And if I was him, I would sue that chain. I would sue them.
I would too. I would. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. I need your help. Let me go ahead and give somebody a shout out here. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to my girl, Teresa Capone. Shout out to you to the $5 challenge.
I would like to thank Troy Webb. Thank you, Troy Webb, for your kindness and generosity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Shout out to y'all. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. Next one up here. I want to go ahead, brother, and let me pull this up here. I want to go ahead and speak about NYC and the gun violence. 44 people were shot over the weekend. Let me tell you, violence across this nation is getting into some territories we've never seen in our life. I want to go ahead and run it when it come back. I want to get your take on it. What can we do to curb a lot of this nonsense? Here we go.
Seen tape littering the streets of several neighborhoods in the city after a violent weekend. Between early Friday and this morning, 44 people were shot in 25 incidents. 8 of them were shot at a gathering in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. News 4's Mark Santia joining us live in Bed-Stuy with what the NYPD says it's doing to curb this crime, Mark.
And Natalie, you take a look around, you can see this is still an active scene. You see there are dozens of evidence markers on the ground, and there are dozens of victims in local hospitals, the aftermath of a bloody weekend across the city. Chaos at the Eleanor Roosevelt houses, women and men loaded onto stretchers as first responders try to help 8 victims wounded in a barrage of bullets.
Firecrackers or gunshot noise, and you just woo, 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 and then the helicopters came along.
Daryl Walden saw the carnage outside his Brooklyn home. While this resident says he does not have all the answers to the surge in shootings, he does stress
we definitely don't need no defunding the police, that's for sure. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think it's getting out of hand.
The key is more gun arrests. We're at the highest level of gun arrests in 25 years. More cooperation between NYPD and community to get the information that PD needs for those prosecutions.
In case you hear anything or see anything from last night, we want people to feel safe in contact with us. Okay?
As detectives search for clues, the NYPD's Community Affairs Rapid Response Team looks to build trust and calm fears after a weekend of violence and another mass shooting.
But it's really important that we come out here and just calm people down after something like this tragic has happened in their neighborhood.
Tackling the surging gun violence, Lieutenant Cherise Sanders says it's about police and community working together.
We're here for them. We want their neighborhoods to be safe and just to help us help them.
Back here at this scene, 8 people were injured in the shooting. We're told all are expected to survive. Just got off the phone with police moments ago. They tell us the 2 gunmen, they're still on the loose. Police still searching for them at this hour. We're live in Bed-Stuy. I'm Mark Santia, News 4 New York.
Bed-Stuy, New York. Bed-Stuy. Absolutely. And let me tell you, very nice place when the lights are on, when it's daytime. Brother, what do you think about this? 44 people shot, 25 different incidences. People are ducking for their life. What do you think?
People are going to have to take responsibility, and they're going to have to do what it takes. Do what it takes to stop the crime. They have to. This isn't a choice anymore. A lot of people like to try to make it sound like no snitch law is getting people killed.
Yep.
You see something, say something. If you recognize them, say something. Because at the end of the day, those in the community are minorities. What if you remember, you got extremes, and those extremes are coming back. Extreme liberals. So what are you going to do when you're out there? They know you'll protest them, or you're out there won't comply. They see you as a threat. This group, you look, and you got 44 people shot. 44 people shot and killed in New York. I guess that defund the police worked good, didn't it? I'm just saying, I guess the defund the police work wonders.
The defund the police didn't work at all. I mean, it's a crazy thing. It is. Now, 44 folks shot, 25 different incidences. It let me know that the cops are not doing what they need to do in the streets. And a lot of the time, that's where it comes down to is enforcement, ladies and gentlemen. I want people to understand that. John Lennon brought up something that was very, very good. John Lennon, ladies and gentlemen, he brought up stop and frisk. Brother, you remember stop and frisk, right?
Yep, and that's what we need. And that
I know you remember stop and frisk, right?
Yep.
Absolutely. Now, he brought up stop and frisk. Rudy Giuliani, ladies and gentlemen, used that, and he was mercifully attacked for it. And you know what I'm talking about, Jamal.
And he brought the crime down.
Absolutely.
It was stop and frisk that brought the crime down, because you never know when a police officer is going to jump out of the car and say, okay, let me stop and frisk you.
There you go.
And it worked. It stopped the crime in New York.
There you go.
Like this. Then it nosedived. The reason why New York got bad is because of de Blasio. This is de Blasio fault.
Absolutely. And I want folks to understand something here. The cops weren't just stopping and frisking anybody. They were looking for, quote unquote, thugs, people who fit the description of, you know, people who were doing the wrong thing in that area. You understand? Yep. They try to make it seem like they were just frisking old ladies and frisking anybody. They weren't doing that, ladies and gentlemen. They were stop and frisking folks in high crime areas. Do you understand? High crime areas. And it worked. They were targeting folks who were walking. You know it did. And ladies and gentlemen, they got mad and upset about it because most of the folks that they were catching were Black Americans. Right? Yes. So they started saying, well, this is racist. I mean, just stop and frisk. All you guys are doing are looking at black folks and then stopping and frisking them. I want to let folks understand something. Usually when black folks are raised by their mama, they're not that bright when it comes to logic. Do you understand? In the area that is there, all right, you have the criminals that wear what we call thuggish clothing, right? The thug attire. You know what I'm talking about, Jamal? The young black children who are not even thugs, Jamal, what type of attire do they wear?
They wear the attire of thugs. A lot of them, instead of dressing preppy, instead of saying, hey, I'm going to wear this, no, they want to wear the most thuggish
There
crap.
You go.
And then when they get stopped by the police, then guess what?
There you go. Right? It's what we call logic. So the cops are looking for thugs. Do you understand? And thug attire is usually the long shirt, right? Person probably wear a small. They're wearing a triple XL. Okay? Pants is dropped, Jamal. You know what I'm talking about. You can see their underwear. Usually, the Negroes love wearing the Jordans or the Dope Man 97s. I think they call them Air Maxes around here.
The Dope Man 97.
Yeah, I know, Jamal. That's the way they call it out here. The Air Maxes, right? The cops know how the dope boys look. They know how the thugs look, ladies and gentlemen. So the black children will wear the same attire, get pulled over, just like Jamal said, and complain. And it's the black parents' fault for not telling their children, hey, you see those folks dressing like thugs? If you're dressed like them, more than likely you're going to get pulled over. Because people who dress like them usually are the ones who are stealing, robbing, thugging, killing, and four-wheeling. Last words, Jamal.
You know, it's just a failure and breakdown of the family. When you put black family back together, fathers inside the homes, a lot of this will cut out.
Yeah.
But we must address the problem as we see it. Stop and frisk. Stop crime expeditiously. It stopped it. Because criminals know if they walked around with a gun and a police officer stop you, he may stop you. You get caught, boom. Now, you have to look at this and say liberals' policies failed. Liberal policies 100%. And well-intentioned crap means nothing because
you said well-intentioned
they
crap.
fail. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's one of the best lines I've heard for a while. Well-intentioned crap. That's exactly what they do.
Yeah, that's what it is. Well-intentioned.
Everything got the best intentions fail. These people are losers. Jamal, they straight up losers. Shout out to Amy Stancombe. Amy Stancombe, she says she know the attire of thugs. She says baggy pants, wife beater, wife beater tee, Jordans and do-rag. Negroes, you gotta switch it up. If old white ladies know what you're wearing, you gotta switch it up.
They know your MO.
You Negroes gotta switch it up. I'm telling you, if white ladies know your thuggish attire, gosh darn it, it's time to switch up. Moving forward here, brother, I want to go ahead and shout out to Amy Stancombe, your beautiful woman. She raises chickens too. So man, I'm telling her chickens probably know thugs too. Yeah, ain't that right, Amy? Your chickens know thugs too, don't they? Next one up here, brother. I want to speak about Lori Lightfoot, Beetlejuice, Don Beetle. Lori Lightfoot gets heckled at this budget forum. All right, this budget forum has to deal with the city's budget, allocated money for police. Certain community, groups and organizations and such. And let me tell you something. There's residents there who are upset and they're mad. They're digging at Don Beetle, And let me tell you something. I'm telling you, they digging at her. And let me tell you, it's some white folks too.
Oh, yes.
I'm telling y'all, I was taken by, I said, white folks? Are they going after Don Beetle? Man, I said, maybe there's a turn. Let me go ahead and run this here, brother. When it come back, well, we can speak about that brick that's sitting on top of her head there. We can speak about that Brillo pad. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, we can speak about that Baba black sheep that's sitting on top of her head there. Brother, don't you worry. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button.
I think you thought it was going to increase your odds in there. Caitlin here, and then Mr. Thomas Vincent. Is Mr. Thomas Vincent here? Okay, only one person for the group. We're not going to do a mass thing.
Oh, sorry. Well, I'm here representing a coalition called Right to Recovery of community groups, labor organizations, and we are here speaking as one voice, so... Yep, correct.
Okay,
cool.
And you've got 90 seconds, and I will cut off the mic.
All right, I can yell. So last year, Mayor Lightfoot gave 60% of our COVID relief money to CPD. We are here to make sure that this does not happen again. We are here with a clear message from Mayor Lightfoot: rescue our communities and not the big banks. Right now, Chicago is sitting on more than $1 billion with a B dollars of COVID-19 relief money that could be spent tomorrow to support our communities, but you have been sitting on it for months. Earlier this year, the White House and Congress passed billions in federal relief funding for communities across the nation. We heard President Biden loud and clear that these funds are meant to provide direct relief to Americans who have been struggling with a global pandemic and an economic crisis. But right now, Mayor, you have indicated that you want to use some of this money to plug a budget gap. And just yesterday, you said you wanted to raise an already bloated police budget. Today we are saying clearly with one voice, Mayor Lightfoot, do the right thing. People are out here dying. They are in fear of being evicted. They are in fear of their utilities getting cut off, and they are being forced back to work with no child care money. So what are you waiting for? Why are you sitting on this money? Thank you. Why are you sitting on this money? Why hasn't it gone out to communities yet? We need an answer.
Here's your answer. We have a budget process in this city, and the budget process dictates how we spend the money. Let me just, will you let me finish? Give me that courtesy to let me answer your question. Will you do that? Okay, thank you so much. We have a budget process in this city. We don't allocate, I don't write a check and allocate money. The monies have to go through and be allocated by City Council. Our budget process has begun. We will be introducing a budget ordinance in mid-September that will then be debated by the City Council and hopefully pass by the end of October. So at that point, after there's rigorous public debate and analysis by the City Council, we will be allocating those ARP dollars.
Yeah, so that's a completely separate budget process. There is an ordinance that has been on your desk for months now. I want to know why it hasn't moved.
Ordinances don't, young woman, ordinances don't sit on my desk. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but the way in which we allocate resources in this city is we go through a budget process like we are going through now. We present a proposal to City Council. We debate that proposal, refine it, and then it gets voted upon by City Council. And that's exactly the same process that we will be going through with the ARP dollars. It will be part of the allocation for our 2002 budget.
So, Caitlin,
thank you.
Caitlin, there are other people here who have questions. Caitlin.
Because that's what the law requires. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thomas Vincent.
Thank you. I appreciate your passion.
Okay. Dr. Kiros Tuwala Galug. Are you Thomas Vincent? Okay, yeah. Okay, so
please proceed, sir.
Thomas, are you Thomas?
Yes,
okay.
I am.
Bow. So Jamal, Q-tip there,
okay.
You know, Don Beetle. She looked like she been hanging out with Cheech and Chong a bit.
There we go. I couldn't hear a word you were saying, Jermain.
Oh, okay. I was calling. Basically, I was flaming her. You know, I called her Q-tip, Don Beetle. I said she looked like she been hanging out with Cheech and Chong for a bit. You know, I want to know what you think about this. People are mad. They want to know where the money is. She's talking about some budget proposal and all this. It sounds like she giving the runaround when it comes to these COVID dollars. What do you think?
Well, here's the thing. She's been horrible ever since. They chose her simply because of wokeism. They got what they paid for. I hate that the people there suffered, but
they get what they.
This is what they paid for. This is what they wanted. They wanted her. They wanted her to do this. This is what they have been choosing with her. She should have never had it. When she was talking about defund the police, when they was doing that Black Lives Matter crap, she didn't do anything in coming in. She didn't do anything. And that's on her. I'm looking at these numbers right here come up. This Lori Lightfoot sat right there when the Chicago Police Department was being thrown ice, people throwing frozen bottles at the Chicago Police Department.
Yep.
She wanted to know, you know, what was the problem. She was standing for defund the police. Remember when they had the big COVID-19 and all that? She was out there dancing with the people in the street because they alleged because of Mr. Sleepy Dreepy
Joe. Yep.
But now look at this. This is crazy.
It is. It's retarded. Let me go ahead and give a shout out to my girl Dixie George. She took the $5 challenge. Shout out to her.
They love you, Mother Dixie.
Absolutely. Mother Dixie twice. Absolutely. Shout out to Mother Dixie. Shout out to Mother Dixie. Q-tip here, ladies and gentlemen. She's not going to tell the truth. None. She's not going to. This budget and the money, she's going to be using that money to redistribute that wealth into the pockets of her cronies, her cohorts, her friends. Remember, I told you the way that Democrats do it, right? They create a crisis, and then they have the answer. When it comes to a lot of the community organizing BS that goes on, they funnel the money to their friends, right? So right now, they have a big problem of violence in the community. Here in Minneapolis, they used to do this all the time. They used what we call after-school programs. You heard about this, Jamal, right? These after-school programs, right?
You know what? After-school programs are only as good as the kids that's in them. Because if the kids are not trying to learn and stay out of trouble, and the thing, Jermain, at the end of the day, you need parents to do their job.
There you go.
Don't have to need an after-school program. You mean to tell me black kids can't keep themselves out of trouble?
Apparently not. And that's one of the things that I speak about here. These after-school programs, these social programs that pop up are ways for them to funnel money. That's it. They used to do this all the time here in Minneapolis, and folks started catching on, right? They have after-school basketball program, right? Some idiot will put up some LLC. I kid you not, some 501c3 charity, and they'll say, basketball with hands, right? Holding hands with basketball. And then all it would be is them renting out some sort of gym, Jamal, right? And then the money would be allocated to them. And then they will have the kids just play in the gym, and they'll collect the money. Shooting and killing will be at the gym. You get what I'm saying, Jamal? And they catch them. That's the after-school program. And I want folks to understand this is exactly the way they do it. Nothing ever gets fixed. It's just a way to attempt or act like they're doing something. Last words.
Lori Lightfoot is a disaster. She is a disaster. Chicago has been a disaster. All the death, all the shooting. Every time you turn on, these people try to come with just more and more programs to take money instead of focus on the real problem. And you know what, Jermain, you got to admit this. Don't you get sometimes tired of hearing that, we need more black fathers in the homes too?
Yeah, I get tired of saying it.
And you're someone who worked in the prisons. You've been a counselor, Jermain. Some of this stuff comes from, hey, use some self-freaking control.
There you go.
Use some self-control.
It is self-control, and that's why I used to run a program called The Prison Is Your Mind, right? I used to facilitate groups, be 25, 30 men. We sit there with a book called The Prison Is Your Mind. And I have several books. Next time I'll show the audience. And what it does is it goes through different facets of your life, right? Your emotional, your mental, your physical health, your family health, your family life. And it goes through each one, and it asks you certain questions that open up your mind. You get what I'm saying? Get you to critically think about the things that are going on in your life. And what that book gets you to understand is that nobody dictates your life except for yourself, right? You are the only person who has the keys. You get what I'm saying? The keys to change your life, to open up your life. And these are things that a lot of people don't understand, especially in the black community, because they believe there's some gatekeeper out there, right? But it's not true. They have the keys themselves to open up their lives and have it be glorious. But nobody's telling them this. So when I speak to a lot of inmates facilitating these cognitive behavioral therapy groups, we speak about this. And it helps them through to understand that, hey, it's on me. I can't blame anybody else. It's me, my mind, my own decisions that I make.
Yep.
The way that I feel, right? And we work on what we call emotional management. Because, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, most people look at the world and they determine how the world is based upon how they feel. Do you understand? It's a craziness, how they feel. And if you can manage how you feel, right, you're able to be what I call a captain of how you feel. No matter what situation you're in, you will, you will be in control. Trust me. No matter it's beautiful. Hell all around you and inside your peace. Think about it.
Yeah.
Tornadoes going around you, people fighting, and it's like you're in a bubble. You know, it doesn't affect you. You want to say something, Jamal, before we move on?
You know, Jermain, like I said, you worked in prisons, you've been in, and I've been on the other side as well. It's a choice.
It is. Yep.
It's all comes down to choice. You got some people who get 10 and 15 years in prison, never got a write-up, never been to the hole, you don't hear about them having problems. But then you got them ones that want trouble. And you know what happens soon as they get on the yard, get in the camp? They got fighting, they doing something, they got to get in something. It's always been a personal choice.
Mm-hmm.
And when you raise kids to baby them, I care about your feelings, those kids will develop an antisocial, a lack of personal responsibilities, and no morals.
Yep.
The police is going to enforce laws whether or not your morality come up short or not.
Period. And a lot of that is the failure on the parents. And that's something that needs to be put out. It seems like in America we like to escape parents' responsibility in a lot of this stuff. And they have big responsibility in a lot of what's going on. The parents do. No matter if they were there or not, the parents do. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's on you after a while. After a certain age, you can't blame anybody anymore. You can't. And that's something that I believe most folks need to understand. Emotional management is the biggest thing that somebody can do to correct their life. And I'm letting folks know.
They master it.
I'm telling you, if you're able to master it, you'll control your life. And I'm telling you women out there, especially you women, if you look at all the other crazy women that you know. You see how crazy they are when they get mad and emotional. Women out there, I'm telling you, if you're able to do that, it's a game changer for you. I'm telling you. It's a game changer. Moving forward. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. One last one here before we hit our main topic tonight, brother. I want to speak about a teacher that was fined $1,000 after quitting over the mask mandate at the school and also critical race theory. This is a clip coming from Fox News. When it comes back, I want to get your take on it. We have a lot of teachers now who are doing what is needed, standing up and letting it be known that they will not participate in a lot of these things that are going on to hinder our children's development and their health. Here we go.
Kansas teacher is now facing a $1,000 fine after quitting his job over mask requirements and about concerns regarding critical race theory. Josiah Enyart was a 6th grade teacher at Shawnee Mission School District for 11 years in the Kansas City area. He said the mask mandate was the final straw and is now pulling his own kids out of the district schools for homeschooling. And he joins us right now from Kansas. Josiah, good morning to you.
Good morning. How you doing?
Doing okay. So it all started, you had misgivings about the fact that you feel that your school wants you to teach critical race theory anyway, right?
Yeah, not the school, but the district itself. I mean, everything's, top down as far as how it gets down to me as the teacher.
Right.
But, a couple of years ago when the training started, it was kind of inevitable on where they wanted it to go. Where you spend your money, that's what you're going to do. And they were spending plenty of money on it. So we knew it was going to be something we were going to have to do.
Sure. So that had been simmering on the back burner. But then just a couple of weeks ago, they announced that kids K through 6th grade were going to have to wear a mask. And you were not planning on that, were you?
No, I wasn't. They told us back in the fall, I mean, they being everybody who just kind of talks, that we were hoping, or back in the summer and spring, that fall was going to be normal. We were going to be moving forward, so then when it came out, really the thing that got me was that my kids were going to have to and had no say. And so pulling them out was step one. And then realizing that the only way I can give them the education I wanted them to have, I was resigning. So.
Right. So you resigned, and famously we ran a Loudoun County teacher resigning in front of the school board last week on the program. She's already found a new job. You resigned, and then the school board hit you with a $1,000 fine?
Yep.
Explain that.
So I guess NEA and SMSD have a contract that says if you resign after June 4th, they're going to charge you with liquidation damages. To me, it was them changing the terms of my employment and me having no other option. I tried to give them as much time as possible. I called my principal right away because I wanted them to be able to replace me and not be struggling to get the first days of school without a teacher. And so, it was almost a 2-week notice for her. And then I immediately put in the paperwork so that they could open the job up and hire somebody. But then I got an email saying, turn in your computer and bring $1,000. And that's kind of how this all got started.
It just seems so unfair. There's a global pandemic going on. All the rules have changed. You would think that given the fact that you make you say, look, I got a problem with the agenda the school is pushing, the district is pushing, and the masks, let me out of the deal for free. Come on.
Yeah, and so fortunately, I went to the board meeting, and just in order to bring my letter to the board to get my resignation approved and to ask to have that fee waived, I had to give them the check.
Yeah.
And so I went to the board meeting to see how it turned out, but fortunately I met some really good people, and next thing I know, the money's raised and more than that as well.
That's right. Some folks started a GoFundMe page to help pay the $1,000 fine. We also understand that you are now going to be, you found something else to do and tutoring other kids who are homeschooled. So it sounds like for right now it's going to work out with you. Josiah, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. Good luck to you.
So you see this here, Jamal. Being fined, going through all this hassle here. Speaking about homeschooling, do you think this homeschooling will be catching on across this country?
I think a lot of people are going to start homeschooling because what has been transpiring over the past few years, and under Joe Biden, it has really exacerbated. Think of, now they are attacking students. They've been doing it, but it really picked up. Mask mandate, forcing children to wear masks. In order they got to go outside, they got a freaking mask in their hand. Don't let your mask hit the ground. You can't do that. It has been absolutely horrible, and these parents are tired of it.
Yep.
And I'm gonna tell you, yes, hate to hear this teacher got fired, but you know what? A lot of teachers should have been. See, here's the thing: teachers waited too long to start speaking out. You don't wait till the bow of the ship is underwater. When you feel the ship start to rock and you look and you start seeing water in the bottom of it, you either abandon ship or fix the leak. But that's what happened. That's what happened. These teachers are so radical, and they're with Democrats and these teachers unions. But I'm glad he stood up. I'm glad he said things were I'm glad he stood up. I'm glad he called them out. But teachers have been laying this crazy foundation for years. And I blame parents too.
There you go.
When
I was just about to go there.
The first time these radical teachers started with their stuff, not showing up to the school board meetings, letting them know they'll shut it all down if you don't get rid of this teacher.
Absolutely. You know, a lot of what's going on is by design. You know, we put our children into these these classes for 8 to 10 hours a day, and they're out of our sight, and they're in the sight of the folks that want them to act and behave in a certain way. And
Yes.
we've gotten to the point where we're cool with that as a society. You get what I'm saying? And now this COVID thing hit, the mask mandates, and this seems to be the catalyst to take children out, right? It wasn't them learning about, two guys and how they have sex. It wasn't that one, right? It wasn't the teaching children sex at, kindergarten and first grade and all sorts of nasty books. It wasn't that.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the 27 different genders, right? It wasn't that one. I can go on and on. The list goes on and on, Jamal. But the catalyst had to be the masks and the vaccine. Now, what I want to say about this here, Jamal, is that I believe we need to have a politician who understands what is going on and how we as a society can better our children and ourselves. And one of the things that I've been thinking of is that having, some sort of initiative to have, maybe some sort of federal stipend or a tax credit to have, a parent stay home and raise the child, but also teach the child. Because back in the day, Jamal, a lot of children were homeschooled. They
Yes.
were. And they turned out fine and dandy, Jamal. Fine
Turned
and
out better
dandy.
than
And at the
public
end of the
schools.
day, the first teacher will be, mama. You get what I'm saying, Jamal? That is biblical. What do you think about that, Jamal?
Jermaine, first of all, I would like to thank Miss Lori Wagner. Miss Lori Wagner, thank you for your kindness and generosity. And I do believe I did thank Miss
all
and I did
money,
thank Troy Webb.
Yeah. Shout out
All
to
right.
y'all. Let me go ahead. I got to give the sound effects. Hold on, brother. Shout out to y'all. Absolutely. But Jamal, don't you think, brother, that instead of parents paying taxes to go to the schools, why don't they take, do a stipend? You get what I'm saying? Take that tax money, that part of the tax money, and then they can keep it and help them pay the bills while they're at home, and also, help, teach the child. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, I don't. And you know what? We have some called charter schools. And you know what liberals did? Liberals got mad because charter schools are doing better than public schools.
Yep, through the roof.
See, and what they want is that money for that child so they can get teachers raises and turn out bad product. Too many teachers are turning out bad products. So my whole thing is this. Let the parents that want to take the money and put it in a homeschool network.
Yeah, why not?
With that money, they could get field trips, books, and what they need to know, and
That's what I'm
and
saying.
what they need. So yes, I'm glad he's starting it, but still, I go back. Teachers should have been saying stuff a long time ago, and parents should have been fighting.
Absolutely. A homeschool network. You get what I'm saying? A bunch of these teachers quit. You get what I'm saying? That money that you're sending in taxes, we need to be able to allocate that back. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
And then help parents, help kids get some real learning. Not this fluffy stuff where you're talking about color all day and how you feel. This emotional learning crap. You know what I'm talking about, Jamal, right?
Yep.
We want the learning before all the women took over in the classrooms, right? We want reading, writing, and arithmetic. That's what we want, ladies and gentlemen. We don't want the emotional learning. The liberal women have taken over the classroom. All they do is talk about feelings and color. Look at our children. So, these Republicans got to get on the horn about this. They need to. There should be a bill out there. They need to be passing this along. We need to take our children out. And I know it's going to be hard for a lot of folks, right? A lot of folks work outside of the home. And the way it's designed, they want two people outside of the home to be working at all times so that for you to live, ladies and gentlemen. That's by design. Had we had some good politicians that actually, thought about it, right? They would say, hey, why don't we have some stipends to have children, be able to stay home or one parent be able to stay home like back in the day. A lot of what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, is because we are too distracted with things in front of our face, right? We need to get back to what we call the foundation. Foundation is family. And back in the day, right, we could survive with one person working.
Yep.
We could. You know why we got away from that? Because we wanted. Yep.
Simple, plain materialism.
There you go. You wanted more. You wanted more. And I'm telling folks, we can get back to it. Very simple. You see how the liberals are saying, hey, we need $15 an hour to work. It's hard for us to live. They're dumb and retarded. I want you to know that. They should be saying, well, no family should be able to have two parents outside of the home and they still can't afford where they're living. We should be having politicians doing the right thing, ladies and gentlemen, and promoting this. And we have the money to do it. Right? They're sending money in tax. They send in tax credits, right? $300 every month. You know that, Jamal, right? Yeah, we have the money to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Gender studies, they're throwing it out.
Hey, they just gave the Taliban tanks, guns, and everything.
I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, wake up. Hold on, wake up. And this ain't a socialist thing. That ain't nothing. We talk about getting back to the foundation and the roots. Anybody with common sense would be for this, right? But if you're a person out there who's elite, who just wants to use Americans as workers, right? No matter what political affiliation you are, you'll be against it. Family is the bedrock here in America. That's why we need politicians to put out things and fight for it. That's it. Plain and simple. We can do it. Moving forward here, brother, I want to go ahead and speak about our topic of the night. We're going to be speaking about Biden and his fumble. Biden fumbles. Did you look at, let me go ahead and give somebody a shout out here real quick too. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to my girl Lisa Marie Hill. Absolutely. And Lisa Marie Hill says, happy first birthday to handsome Jermain Botsio Jr. Sending you lots of love. You have the best parents ever. Conservative Nation loves you. Oh. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. Absolutely.
I would like to wish your son as well, which I told you offline.
Yeah, you did.
I wrote on the picture, happy birthday. But once again, I just want to stop to take this moment to say, happy birthday, Jermain Jr. May you live to see many glorious and blessed birthdays.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. He had cake. I bought him a nice little toy. He had shots on his birthday too. He had his 1 year shot, 3 shots, and he had his finger pricked. Let me tell you, strong kid. 20 minutes later, he was ready. I'm telling you, he was ready. Shout out to you. Absolutely. Let's go ahead and move forward here. So, Biden's fumble is very, very, very serious. It's very bad. Everybody and their mama is speaking about this fumble right now. CNN, all the liberals are going crazy on him. If you're black, they say they're going ham. They're going ham on him, right? I want to speak firstly about Biden and his mistake here. There's a video going around, I should say, and it's about what he said when he was first withdrawing the troops out of Afghanistan. Now, you remember this, Jamal, when he was speaking about Afghanistan and withdrawing the troops, he was talking about, how the Afghan military had the potential and the capability to take care of the country and fend folks off, right? Well, yeah, let me go ahead and play a little bit of that. I mean, some people forgot, especially folks in the Biden administration, they forgot about this. Very quick clip here, and I want to speak about it here, because it seems to be a quick flip to his recent statement he made about Afghanistan yesterday. It's kind of weird. Kind of. Here we go.
Takeover of Afghanistan now inevitable?
No, it is not. Because you have the Afghan troops have 300,000 well equipped as any army in the world, and an air force against something like 75,000 Taliban. It is not inevitable.
Mr. President, thank you very much. Your own intelligence community has assessed that the Afghan government will likely collapse.
That is not true.
Can you please clarify what they have told you about whether that will happen or not?
That is not true. They did not reach that conclusion.
So what is the level of confidence that they have that it will not collapse?
The Afghan government and leadership has to come together. They clearly have the capacity to sustain the government in place.
And do you see any parallels between this withdrawal and what happened in Vietnam, with some people feeling?
None whatsoever. Zero. What you had is you had entire brigades breaking through the gates of our embassy. 6, if I'm not mistaken. The Taliban is not the North Vietnamese army. They're not remotely comparable in terms of capability.
This is so embarrassing.
There's going to be no circumstance where you see people being lifted off the roof of a embassy of the United States from Afghanistan. It is not at all comparable.
Oh my goodness.
So the question now is, where do they go from here? That the jury is still out. But the likelihood there's going to be the Taliban overrunning everything and owning the whole country is high.
That gotta be a song to Biden. That's a Biden song.
ورأيت الناس ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على روح مبارك سيدنا محمد في الأرواح وعلى جسده في الأجساد وعلى قبره في القبور وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون.
So I'm going to stop it right here. Jamal, they singing that Muslim prayer song to Joe Biden. You know, Joe Biden probably gonna be one of the top figureheads there. You get what I'm saying? They gotta give Joe Biden a Christmas present. They got to. You get what I'm saying? Joe Biden handing them a beautiful Christmas present. So, brother, you seen what Joe Biden said, right? Ladies and gentlemen, you heard the loser! You heard the loser, Jamal. The loser said, hey, ain't no way, Taliban gonna take over. That's unlikely. I ain't hear nothing about that from our own intelligence agency. What, you said that they said they're gonna collapse? What? I ain't heard that. Hold on, what? Jamal, the media told him that, hey, your own intelligence say this bad, brother. It's gonna collapse. He said that, what do you think?
Joe Biden was more concerned about trying to one-up President Trump.
There you go.
Than what he was about what's going on. Listen to this. He's blaming President Trump, saying President Trump is to blame. President Trump said he would leave only with conditions. Yes, he did meet with the Taliban. And he said, okay, yeah, okay. You guys, you staying out here, we ain't gonna kill you unless you do something stupid. Because remember when President Trump was elected, remember everybody started having the mother of all rallies, MOR rallies. You remember those?
Yeah.
Okay, well, where did it come from? Yep. What did President Trump do? Remember when he dropped a Moab on the Taliban?
Oh, yeah.
Mother of all bombs. He dropped big boy on them.
They ran and never came back.
And they saw Trump was serious. Now you got Biden. Biden is letting them run wild. He's letting them do whatever. People, they have lost the nation and got our gear. They got our gear. And you know what? He said that the Afghan forces should not have threw their weapons down and ran. You know what? That's true. Now I agree with Biden.
Well, hold that sentiment, brother. Let me go ahead and play just a little bit of what Biden said earlier.
Okay.
All right, and then we'll hit this real hard. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you share. Let me go ahead and give a quick shout out here before I play that to a brother in arms, my brother from another mother, my main man out of Minnesota, Chris Paulin. Says great show, Jermain. Shout out to you. Absolutely. Here we go. Biden earlier, ladies and gentlemen, addresses Afghan situation. Here we go.
Our mission in Afghanistan was never supposed to have been nation building. It was never supposed to be creating a unified, centralized democracy. Our only vital national interest in Afghanistan remains today what it has always been, preventing a terrorist attack on America's homeland. I've argued for many years that our mission should be narrowly focused on counterterrorism, not counterinsurgency or nation building. So what's happened? Afghanistan political leaders gave up and fled the country. The Afghan military collapsed, sometime without trying to fight. If anything, the developments of the past week reinforced that ending U.S. military involvement in Afghanistan now was the right decision. American troops cannot and should not be fighting in a war and dying in a war that Afghan forces are not willing to fight for themselves. We spent over $1 trillion. We trained and equipped an Afghan military force with some 300,000 strong. It is wrong to order American troops to step up when Afghanistan's own armed forces would not. The political leaders of Afghanistan were unable to come together for the good of their people, unable to negotiate for the future of their country when the chips were down. They would never have done so while U.S. troops remained in Afghanistan, bearing the brunt of the fighting for them. As we carry out this departure, we have made it clear to the Taliban, if they attack our personnel or disrupt our operation, the U.S. presence will be swift and the response will be swift and forceful. We will defend our people with devastating force if necessary. Our current military mission will be short in time, limited in scope, and focused in its objectives. Get our people and our allies to safety as quickly as possible. And once we have completed this mission, we will conclude our military withdrawal. I'm now the 4th American president to preside over war in Afghanistan. 2 Democrats and 2 Republicans. I will not pass this responsibility on to a 5th president. I will not mislead the American people by claiming that just a little more time in Afghanistan will make all the difference. Nor will I shrink from my share of responsibility for where we are today and how we must move forward from here. I am President of the United States of America.
You're not. Let me go ahead and stop it here.
Stops with me.
Bow. Brother. So we got Mr. Biden here. All right. I agree with him in a couple of his statements here that he said. One of them being that he doesn't want to send military troops there if the Afghan military doesn't even want to fight for their own country. I mean, gosh, that's common sense. All right. And another one, he spoke about them, throwing down their weapons and things of that nature. And then he goes ahead and blames Trump as well. I mean, what do you think about this here? He says he doesn't want to give Afghanistan to a 5th president. He's the 4th one. What do you think?
Joe Biden failed and the media's gonna cover him.
Absolutely.
Simple and plain. This was an absolute failure. An absolute 100%. Don't blame nobody else. Failure. Joe Biden failed. Don't give us that. If we need to end it in this wars. Listen, American troops had not lost a single soldier since 2018. Okay, that's good. In Afghanistan, we hadn't had probably 1 or 2 at the most. We got troops in Germany. Last I checked, Germany ain't been trying to fight back. Why? Because we left a contingency force over there. Say, hey, you Krauts get the doing the Kraut, want to do the goose step jig. We got you. We left troops in Korea. And anyone knows who's been stationed in Korea next to the 38th parallel, hey, they are still actively at war. It's just I I think they signed the peace treaty ending the war with South Korea. I think they did that, but that was done under President Trump. But as a symbolic symbol.
Mm-hmm.
But we got troops in South Korea. So this big talk about, we need to hurry up and get troops out of Afghanistan. Yes, they need to come home, but we had less troops dying and hurt. The Taliban was pushed back because President Trump had showed, I'll blow you off the map. I got something called the Moab that we will totally blow you off the map. He failed. And I would like to thank Yvette Romick for her kindness and generosity. Thank you, Miss Yvette.
He failed through and through. One of the things is that I don't believe America should be running and doing any of this nation building or sitting there and doing policing other folks. A lot of that is just absolute nonsense. If you can't police your own country, let me tell you, somebody's going to take it over. The real world, we call it annexing. It happens all the time. All the time. People, the other countries annex smaller countries. For example, being, what is it called? Russia. Russia recently annexed a country, and the United States wanted to...
Crimea. Crimea.
Yep, Crimea. Yep, Crimea. There you go. So I want folks to understand it happens all the time. All the time. So we have to, keep that in mind when we're running and spending money at a lot of these countries. Now, Jamal, to be honest, we're only in a lot of these countries for our self-interest. If we were honest about it, police, doing this quote-unquote policing, we would be in Rwanda. We would have went to Rwanda. We would have went to a lot of these other places, right? We don't go to Africa and help a lot of these Africans when the genocide was happening. But we go to, Afghanistan, and we go to, these other places. So it's all about our own self-interest. But it's the self-interest, really, of the globalists, right? It's not us per se. It's really about the globalists and what they want and what they need. I want to go ahead, brother, and show you guys something here real quick. I want to show you Obama's CIA director, John Brennan. He came out today and really put a bad stain on Biden. He says that the Biden administration was slow and got caught off guard in Afghanistan. Man, let me go ahead and run it when it come back. I want to get your take on this. Here we go. Make sure you guys share.
To you, was there an intelligence failure here, of military intelligence? Does it appear that the Biden administration was caught off guard? Were they listening, and was the president determined to follow his game plan of withdrawing?
Well, they clearly were caught off guard by the events over the last 72 hours and the resurgence of U.S. military forces into the airport to secure the evacuation of our military and civilian personnel. The U.S. military, along with the U.S. contractors and American intelligence officers, have been the bloodstream that have sustained the Afghan military and security forces for many, many years. With the abrupt severing of that bloodstream, it's clear that the Afghan forces were not up to the task. And then compounded by, I think, the psychological impact of the announced withdrawal in a rapid way. So I don't know what the intelligence assessments were that went to the White House in terms of how quickly things could unravel, but clearly they have. And it's because of the tremendous dependency that the Afghans had on the U.S. system of support. And clearly that was underestimated on the part of the administration.
Bow. So we got CIA Brennan, but hold your tongue here. Hold your tongue. I got another person from the Obama administration who was laying it into Joe as well. The Afghan ambassador, James Cunningham. he came on, and let me tell you, lit into Biden as well. I want people to see this. He says that the Biden administration failed to plan for a withdrawal. Take a look.
What do you think, if anything, the Biden administration should have done differently to prevent this particular outcome?
Well, first of all, the decision to withdraw completely was a strategic mistake. The decision to withdraw completely and so quickly compounded the danger. And then the fact that there was little to no real planning done about how to compensate for the withdrawal of the forces made it almost impossible to carry that out effectively and safely. The administration said that it was going to do a number of things in terms of maintaining continuing support for the security forces and mounting a diplomatic campaign, but it hadn't really done any of the planning about how to actually do that. So they were behind the curve from the beginning of the announcement. And that became rapidly apparent to the Afghans and to the Taliban as well, that the withdrawal of American forces so quickly had left them without essential support that they needed: logistics, air support, among other things, intelligence. And the Taliban seized that opportunity.
All right. Jamal, let me tell you something here, brother. Let me tell you something. Two of these folks, well-known, well-respected in the liberal sphere, right? They bow down to these folks. They're saying Biden a loser. He's saying he's a loser. What do you think?
I think this is Barack Obama shooting a shot over Joe Biden's bow.
He hates Joe Biden.
Out.
You know that, right?
Yeah. You need to watch out trying to come at me. Because when he said 4 presidents and mentioned all this, Joe Biden has been horrible on foreign affairs, period. Joe Biden didn't want to pull the trigger when it came to Osama bin Laden. Joe Biden has been horrible on foreign policy.
Yep.
Horrible. So I'm not surprised that this disaster happened. In a manner, not really, because Joe Biden has been a disaster. He wants to blame Trump for it. President Trump ain't even president today. The media allow him, but then again, some of this stuff people seeing from the media, like, you can't hide it. Now, I gotta admit, some are like, no, don't you do this. Y'all are lying. I mean, you had Jake Tapper say that.
Mm-hmm.
But this is Joe Biden's total debacle. This is all on him.
I mean, everybody and their mama's mama, Jamal. Everybody and their mama. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody and their mama talking bad about Joe Biden right now. Jamal, I think I hear the cockroaches. You know, sometimes cockroaches come through my crib. You know, they telling me they hate Joe Biden right now. You know, everybody and their mama talking bad about Joe Biden. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, you know what I'm talking. Everybody, you know, it ain't looking good for Joe right now. Ain't looking good. Now, there was a CNN reporter. All right, and before I even do that, you sent me a picture here of this CNN reporter. I want to go ahead and show the crowd, because, you know, when I seen this, Jamal, I was like, man, that was a quick flip, you know? And I want the crowd to see this here. I want them to see this quick flip. Here we go. Let me go ahead and cue it up here. I'm pulling up here right now. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share, ladies and gentlemen. Don't treat me like a stranger. You see us up here, please. Oh, please. All right. Please. All right. So here it is, transitioning. Now, you guys are seeing this CNN anchor right here. You see how she looks right here? And look how fast she threw in this hijab. I'm telling you. Now, Jamal, I want to go ahead and run this story. It's with the same CNN anchor here.
Okay.
And she's in Kabul, hanging out with the terrorists. You get what I'm saying? I don't know if, she's enjoying herself. I have no idea, but she only seems to care about one thing. Take a look.
We went out on the streets for the day, keen to see what life felt like in this new Islamic emirate of Afghanistan, and we found a mixture of emotions. There was heartache, desperation, fear, and also some jubilation. Take a look. As soon as we leave our compound, it's clear who is now in charge. Taliban fighters have flooded the capital. Smiling and victorious, they took this city of 6 million people in a matter of hours, barely firing a shot.
This is a sight I honestly thought I would never see. Scores of Taliban fighters, and just behind us, the U.S. Embassy compound.
Some carry American weapons. They tell us they're here to maintain law and order. Everything is under control. Everything will be fine, the commander says. Nobody should worry.
What's your message to America right now?
America already spent enough time in Afghanistan. They need to leave, he tells us. They already lost lots of lives and lots of money. People come up to them to pose for photographs.
They're just chanting death to America, but they seem friendly at the same time. It's utterly bizarre.
Almost everywhere we go, it seems the Taliban want to talk.
A lot of people are very frightened that you might engage in revenge attacks against security forces.
Alhamdulillah. Since yesterday, we've proved that nothing will happen, and we give assurance to everyone that they will be safe, Mauli Murtaza tells us, and we follow our leaders. Once we make a promise, we stick to it. Maintaining law and order is top of that list of promises. At the presidential palace, the Taliban are now guarding the gate. They say they're here to fill the vacuum left when the government fled. But the welcoming spirit only extends so far, and my presence soon creates tension.
It's because of you. They've just told me to stand to the side because I'm a woman.
The Taliban have yet to implement their draconian version of Islamic law, but many are already preparing for it.
You can see this beauty salon and many others have actually painted over images on their storefronts of uncovered women.
Taliban commander Asad Masoud Khistani says Islamic rule will be implemented gradually.
How will you protect women? Because many women are afraid they will not be allowed to go to school, they will not be allowed to work.
The female, the woman can continue their lives, and we will not say anything for them. They can go to the school, they can continue their education, but with Islamic hijab.
So like I'm wearing?
Not like you, but covering their faces as well.
Cover the face?
Yeah.
So you mean niqab?
Yeah. Niqab.
Why do they have to cover their face?
Because it is in our Islam.
Is it in Islam, though, that you have to wear niqab?
Of course, it is in Islam.
Most ordinary Afghans we meet are in a state of shock, struggling to process the last 24 hours. Faizullah tells us his father was in the Afghan army and was killed this summer. Now he doesn't know what to do.
Yesterday I have lost everything. Like I don't feel secure in here.
You're afraid?
Huh?
You're afraid?
Yeah, I'm afraid. Because I lost my dad. I lost my mom in a Logar province like 2 months ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Just I'm with my little sister. We are living at home. That's why I'm afraid from everything. It's the big problem. This is the big problem for us.
It's a feeling shared by so many. Walking along, one has a sense that the real story may be the people who are not on the streets, those too afraid to leave their homes. waiting to see what tomorrow will bring.
Clarissa, we heard in your reporting, first of all, it's fascinating to hear the Taliban say,
So I'm going to stop it right
promise,
here, Jamal. This lady, she does some reporting, and she goes into, the Taliban area, and she finds some dissidents that are there, people who are scared about what's going on, a whole bunch of men who aren't fighting, who are quote-unquote scared about what's going on. What I see is a bunch of folks who aren't going to, change anything, and that's probably one of the main reasons why Afghan is where it's at right now. They want Sharia law. They want their country the way it is, and I think that it's hard for folks to understand that. People who are on the left, like Anderson Cooper and this stupid liberal woman, they believe that these women are over there suffering, Jamal. Let me tell you something. A lot of people don't know suffering until somebody's told them they're suffering. You understand what I'm saying, Jamal? These women didn't know that they were suffering until some liberal skank came and told them that they're suffering. Honestly, Jamal. They didn't know that they were suffering. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? People here in the United States will call our government terrorists. Look at the liberals.
Yes.
They will act like the Afghan folks here. You know what? Black folks too. See, the government after us. See, we can't even walk our children outside without one of the government soldiers shooting and killing our children. You have to wake up to the this is all propaganda here. They wanted their country to be under Sharia law. They wanted the Muslims the Taliban to take over. And guess what? If the Taliban act right, Jamal, they can establish a state. You know that, right? Even Biden said this.
They've already changed. And here's the thing. Biden is talking about what he will and what he probably will or might recognize. China, Russia, and and Pakistan has already recognized them. It is now called the Islamic Emirates of Afghanistan. Now, those older women who were born in before 2000, before the 2004 America went into Afghanistan, they already knew. You already saw them putting on the hijabs and everything. But it's the younger girls, 17, 18, 16, 15, who have been growing up with freedom. This is going to be a hard reality check for them. Some of them will make up. Some of them, because like she said, they covered up that background. They covered it up. And these women had them lipstick, earrings, and stuff like that. And
showing nudity and stuff.
You know, what they would consider nudity. So this was considered horrible. The Taliban is not going to be fair. The Taliban is not going to be kind. They're putting on this front for a few weeks. And they're going to start executing people because these reporters are going to get thrown out. They told her, you got to stand over there. You're a woman. Because here's the thing. They got certain ones they'll put in front of a camera. Same thing with Black Lives Matter. Yeah, I said Black Lives Matter is just like the Taliban.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing with Black Lives Matter. They got certain ones they want to get in front of the cameras. Then they got the ones that they don't want in front of the cameras. And you can tell when they start getting tense, calm down. It's a certain one that's coming out speaking. Will you let the female go? She's going to have to wear a full plastic bag.
Yep.
Why they didn't hit her or slap her or shoot her or flog her right then and there? Because they're just waiting for all the Americans to get out.
Yep.
All those Afghans that have been left behind. Security force and everything. I hate to say it, Jermain, we're gonna see a slaughter.
Oh, they're gonna kill everybody. That's the name of the game. That is the name of the game when it comes to regime change. You're going to kill anybody who stands in your way. If you're not down with us, you're 6 feet under. And that's the way it works, ladies and gentlemen, in that part of the world. Sorry to say. And the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, the country wanted it. That's why they were able to take over within like 10, 11 days. Breakneck speed. Soon as Biden said withdrawal, they put on their DNC shoes on. You get what I'm saying? The DNC must have mailed the Taliban some shoes. You get what I'm saying, Jamal?
Yeah.
They threw the Obama shoes on. You get what I'm saying? With the Fast and Furious guns. And they started marching. And ladies and gentlemen, everybody and their mama wanted the Taliban.
Yeah.
So I think that is hard for, well, it's not hard for me and folks like you, but I think it's hard for liberals and people who have the ideology that, you know, America has, quote unquote, you know, the best culture and everybody wants it. But I want to tell folks that there's a lot of cultures that don't like American culture. I'm sorry to say. And when you go ahead and you take a step back objectively, right? We have some beautiful things in our culture, and we have some things that are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right? And us accepting a man who's wearing a dress, that's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right? 27 different genders. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I could go on and on. These are the things that the Taliban in that area of the world did not want. They don't want the liberal crap, and I don't blame them. I don't, ladies and gentlemen. When it comes to women wearing hijabs, don't listen to the liberal scumbag skanks. Don't you do it. If you ask a traditional Muslim woman, she doesn't have a problem wearing it because she has been accustomed since birth.
Yeah.
So the only people who come and tell you that they have a problem are the liberal skanks who say, oh, I can't believe that they have to wear that. Oh, those men are making you wear that, aren't they? They're so evil. Hold on, they're so evil. This is what they're doing. It's not right, ladies and gentlemen. It's their own culture, and let me tell you something. They did not have a problem with it. It's just like somebody coming and tell us, hey, the men in your culture, you guys are being taken advantage of, right? You guys are being taken, and us men say, you know what? We are, right? Through the courts and everything else. We are. Jamal, last words.
Jermain, as you was talking, I'm looking here on Instagram, and they showing somebody who was recording from the airplane. They show them, they're riding on the airplane. This group thought they don't know how airplanes work. And they're holding on, they're riding before the wheel lifts up. Yeah. Before the wheel lifts up.
Oh my goodness.
And some of them is going to fall to their deaths. This is an absolute disaster. Joe Biden, and I wanted to wear my Trump 2020 t-shirt, but I couldn't find it. So I wore my Don't Blame Me, I voted for Trump. Don't blame me.
That's still a good one.
Don't blame me. Hold on, let me step back a little bit farther so y'all can see it. Don't blame me. I voted for Trump. I'm gonna tell you something. If this had been Donald Trump, he would have never left like this.
Oh.
This is embarrassing.
He would have never done this.
This is humiliating. You know. But I'm willing to bet you they're gonna have another January 6th commission. Their media is gonna cover up for Joe Biden. But I kind of think this one, they're not going to be able to. No, they're not.
This one is too severe.
This is too severe.
Yeah.
You know, watching this video right here, Jermain, and knowing that these people are about to literally fall off a plane in the air because the wheels retract.
And it go in, right?
And they go in.
Oh.
They're on a C-130.
Oh, my goodness.
You heard about what happened today also from the Air Force. When they landed the wheel, they landed, and they noticed it was messing up. Come to find out, it had crushed a man. Yeah, he got crushed by the wheels. So now they have to take it out of commission and dig this man's body parts out.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, all because you want to outshine somebody. And it was really about outshining somebody. We haven't heard nothing from Camel Toes, Knee Pads Harris. We haven't heard nothing from her. Not a peep. And she ain't going to say nothing right now. You see how slow Joe Biden came up, right? It took him a while. It took him too long to talk. So it lets you know that these folks aren't really ready to be in that position.
They never was.
Yeah, never. They're not equipped. Joe Biden is not even equipped. When the reporters are telling you about your own intelligence, right? And you're denying your own intelligence and saying that, hey, it's not true. I believe there's something wrong. Something severely wrong. Everybody pointed to you and said that this is not going to be good. Everybody and their mama. You know, I even think his dog, what's his dog's name? Bolt or Bo or somebody? Whatever his dog's name is, his dog probably already knew too.
His dog was biting people, letting them know.
Absolutely. Hey, stop him. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. They had to get that doggy out of there. I think he was biting too many niggas at the White House. You know, seeing so many dark meat around there. He was like, oh, this affirmative action. Man, I'm telling you, craziness. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the world we live in. That is America right now. We shall see. All I know, he's not going to escape this. Everybody and their mama's talking about how bad this is. I wonder how they're going to distract us from this. Maybe they're going to throw a lockdown, maybe new mask mandates all the way through and through, something. Joe Biden and the Luciferians are going to be working, ladies and gentlemen. Mark my words. Mark my words, in the next couple of days, something will overshadow this, and you'll see the media hopped on it. Maybe one of these Negroes will die, some sort of benign incident with a cop. You get what I'm saying, Jamal?
Oh, they looking for that right now.
Yeah, you know, oh my gosh, a Negro slipped on a banana peel and a cop was there and didn't help him. Come on, let's get him. I'm telling you. Last words before we depart, Jamal. Beautiful man. Thank you so much for coming on in here. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a beautiful show. Let me tell you, a beautiful show. 2 hours of flames and fury. Brother, any last words for the crowd?
As a soldier, someone who's in the Army, this is humiliating. This is embarrassing. The same thing like it was in Vietnam, racial unrest, and all our gains we dropped. Racial unrest in 2020, we drop all our gains. This man is totally senile, and I do believe, I believe he had one of those moments to where people have been telling him what to do. He said, listen, and he went out there and he did what he did. But Jermain, this is a screw up. And I wonder, what are they going to do now? Because our southern border has, you have people from the Middle East being caught.
Yep, at the southern border.
At the southern border.
They probably getting dropped off at gas stations like the Haitians.
So I don't know what's going on, but for the next few years, Lord willing, we live and see it.
Yep. I foresee having some sort of maybe terrorist attack, some sort of false flag.
Yes.
I have no idea. But all I know is the Democrats, they want to have supreme control. They're in the seat right now, and as you can see, they're trying to get their way with everything. They're not doing the right thing, and what's going on in Afghanistan should be a very big telling sign of how the Joe Biden presidency will go. You can see how disastrous it is, right? Who do you think is worse before we leave, him or Jimmy Carter?
He's totally worse now.
You think he's worse than Jimmy Carter? Jimmy Carter was terrible.
Jimmy Carter wasn't that bad. Jimmy Carter let Iran and some screw up. But let me tell you something. Here's
people are having this debate right now, Jamal. Who's the worst?
I'm gonna tell you right now. I seen this picture. You got Jimmy Carter going to Obama saying, "Let me get that back." That's the worst president. He gave Obama a trophy. You're the worst president. He said, "Let me get that back." And he walks over to Joe Biden and say, "Here you go."
You know, I think Biden is the worst of them all. You know,
yes,
I'm telling you, he is. He's the worst of them all, ladies and gentlemen. You can't get around it. He's slow. He's halfway retarded. He doesn't know where he's at most of the time. He fumbles, bumbles, and stumbles over words. I mean, you just can't get around this. He is the worst. You know, somebody saying Obama a close second. They said Biden. Yeah, Biden, right? Yeah, I know. I'm telling you, Obama probably got a special seat in the White House right now. He come in and take off his dusty shoes.
Obama don't want nothing to do with this. I really, honestly think Obama don't want nothing to do with him because he is so horrible, and he.
Ladies and gentlemen, love ya. I'll be on tomorrow, same time as usual, giving you guys a good word. I'm sure Jamal will be on same time, giving you guys the good word. So you guys take care. Have a beautiful night. And I'll catch you guys here later with another edition of Conservative Nation. You guys
thanks, Jermaine. Have a good one.